Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of NC-17. We are back with the series of Get to Know the Cast of Not There, and today we have very talented actress Shannon Midland with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
That's
It's
good then.
finally.
Oh yeah. So kind of give a backstory of what really got you into film. Was it at a young age, or was it when you got older, or just, kind of walk us through life a little bit?
Yeah, so I don't know when it was, but I grew up in a Jewish household and I would constantly be asked a lot, being like, "Oh, do you want to be a doctor or a lawyer?" And I'm just like, "I'll do it on TV." And since I was a kid, I've known that I wanted to do acting. I don't even remember what sparked it. I remember going to a Broadway musical, but like that was before that. It's I think it's because I like being dramatic and like being on camera and realize that like people remember what they see in movies more than sometimes things in real life. And I wanted to have an impact on someone. I didn't realize at the time. I was just like, ooh, pretty colors.
Oh yeah. So as you got into, getting into the industry and everything like that, and what was your first experiences like? And was there more no's than yes, or kind of walk us through that?
So, my parents were, um, they wanted me to focus on school, which I'm glad they did. Um, but I grew up in Tallahassee, so I would constantly be auditioning for Florida State University's film program. I usually got no's. I was like, that's fine. That's just part of the process. And I was working at the theater at my high school at the time. So I was like, oh, I'm a theater kid. I don't have time for a film anyway. The thing of trying to hide the hurt of not getting it. Um, and I remember it was oh gosh, the year I turned 16, because that's I got my first role in a short film at FSU when I was about to turn 16 or 17. And it was one of the most exciting moments of my life. I was like, ah, because it's the thing of like, it's, I was like, am I going to be on a poster? Is my face going to be on a poster? Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Uh, so kind of walk us through the once you hit 18 and started really gaining traction into really just doing what you want to do in this industry, and kind of explain to us the way you got to where you are today and how long it took you to get there.
Yeah. So I think that I had a kind of interesting uh, snake path of getting back into film. I focused on house management for theaters for most of my college life and afterwards. Um, I wow, suddenly trying to remember everything. During college, I was in a very small town that there was no movies being made. It My school, like the graduating class was probably under 300 people. If I'm wrong, sorry, I can't. Um, but so I was focused solely on theater at the time, and I was like, you know what? No, I can't. I won't do film. It's not going to happen. Blah blah blah. I'll just be behind the theater. And then the pandemic happened after. So sorry. First, I moved to Michigan for an apprenticeship at Tipping Point Theater, and then the pandemic happened. So I wasn't an apprentice anymore. But weirdly, somehow the pandemic and me working at Tipping Point got me in contact with someone who was making a short film. And that's how I started getting on film again. And I am, haven't stopped.
Oh yeah. So what was it like moving from Tallahassee to Michigan? Was there a culture shock, or was it? Did you already know what you were kind of getting into?
I did not know what a snow tire was. I didn't know what a oh god, what are they called? Snowbirds. People were like, "Are you a reverse snowbird?" I'm like, "What is that? Like a lava chicken or something?" I don't know. Um, that was a bad joke. I
It was funny.
I think for me, it's very much the difference of Southern hospitality. People here are much more blunt with what they mean. I'm used to the bless your heart thing of being like, oh, what did I do? Versus here, it's like if I make you mad, you tell me I made you mad. It's like, oh, thank gosh. But it's the thing of trying to be polite when I go back home, and I don't. Sorry.
No, you're good.
It's just I always joke that it's just the weather, but it's very much not. It's I I grew up with the constant Florida man thing. I was scared of freaking looking up Florida man on my birthday because I was like, what if I know the person? And so I was constantly trying to run away from that. And then I found out that most people who leave Florida end up talking about it more than when they did when they lived there. And I sadly do that constantly. I'm like, you meet me, and I'm like 2 seconds, and I'm like, yeah, I'm from Florida, by the way. Um, and people are like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And it's like, oh, cool. It's the the craziness, but not craziness. It's the thing of there's no Michigan man, there's no Michigan woman. It's Florida man does this. It's like, ah, yes, you have the crazy personality. I can see that you got out of Florida. Congratulations. Versus, I said open, then I'm like, congratulations, you're part of us.
Oh yeah. So we will talk about what we can talk about not there because I know we can't spoil anything. But kind of walk us through the thought process you had because you originally auditioned for a different character.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of walk us through the thought process you had when that character got casted, and then we contacted you. What was your thought process then?
I think I was on set when you contacted me, and there was barely any reception, so uh, the messages kept taking 3 hours to send. Um, one of the hardest approvals I've ever had to do. For me, I think it was very easy acceptance because you audition for things all the time and you don't get it. Like I'm blessed to have been given a role at all. And I think it's very what is the word? English is hard. It's very smiley face. I can't think of the word, but like as I told you before, I grew up watching crime procedurals. I grew
Yeah.
up watching that. Like I can probably karaoke the CSI theme. Um, and so it's really fun being able to now play that and try to figure out if I want to go into the more cheesy aspects of crime things versus seriousness. And so I got really excited because I was like, I finally have use for my hours spent of TV.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll be honest. So when I saw your audition, you know, I knew you had, like I knew you had very good talent. Like, and I'd be an idiot not to have you in some part of this film. So when it came time to talking about the cast and getting the cast together and everything like that, there were like definitely conversations of which character you could play. And I was like, why not have her play Silver? And everyone was like, light bulb, hello. So
I
but that's generally how it came up to be because we weren't going to let you go, if that makes sense. We're
I
not
would
a
have found
cult.
free in the background. I would have been like, I'm here. Hello.
But you happen to have actually worked with another actress on the film. You've worked with Marley.
I have. I got cast when Marley and I were on the set together. It
Oh,
was very funny. I was like, ah, I can't talk about this, but I got cast in a thing that I think that you auditioned for. You know, the way that actors talk about things without saying what it is because NDAs. um so Marley and I met on another set that happened, oh gosh, in 2023. Um it was promotional photos day. And I was the um I was the makeup person at the time. I was having to do makeup for myself, try to curl my hair to look like 1940s, the crazy curls. And Marley was running a little bit late, and when she came in, I had I was like, "Hey, you texted me." Um she had, I think, like didn't have her mascara or didn't have eyelashes or something, and I was like, "I got you. I have these." And we bonded over that, and kind of was like, "Ah, your your energy matches my energy."
oh yeah. Uh, so in the brief synopsis that I gave online to for the casting call, what really drew you to Not There?
I think it's so I love horror. I love the idea of world building, a small town, and there's something like eerie. It's like the whole Silent Hill type thing. I love the fact that, like, the idea that I could be part of something like that because I grew up with those. I know the history of Halloween. I know the history of Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was like, I can possibly be part of a future thing of history of Not There, and I can maybe help weave it or just give you ideas, even if you don't use them.
Oh yeah. Well, here we're very open to ideas, trust me. So kind of tell us a little bit about you, like your likes and just kind of like what really drives you to be a better version of you every day.
So I am the youngest daughter of a family of four. Um, I didn't always get along with my family. I was very much the one who asked questions and then was like, "No, I'm right. I'm right." Um, and to me, acting kind of became an escape in a way where I could just, you have no new message. Ah! Sorry.
You're good.
Siri just said,
I'm wearing a shirt that says everyone deserves a good scare, a Halloween shirt. So that was like, and that was perfect.
Thank you. That was my pre-horror movie scare that I can't do because if I do, my neighbors will think I'm being murdered and call the police, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
Um, so I very much had a huge personality as a child. I know it went away. Obviously, it's not here now. And for me, I just really liked acting. I liked being on the stage. I liked knowing that people were watching me. I liked not having to figure out my own words, that someone wrote them for me and I can bring them to life and add my own personality to it. I I think it was a very interesting transition for me from theater to film because I'm so used to having live audience. Like if you mess up, you can't do a second take. You'd be like, ah yes, this is now the trajectory of this film. I left my prop in the back. Let's improv something. It's very much I had to learn how to be on my tiptoes constantly because if something got lost, you need to figure out how to get back on track. And in movies, you don't have to do that.
True.
And I don't know if you could tell, I do a lot of moving that I emote a lot. And that was one of the harder things for me to learn how to not do, because I was taught how to like the stare, like the I absolutely did practice my soap opera stare as a child, but I didn't practice anything else. It was the yes, if you want a dramatic scene, I can do that. But if anything else, just that. And so I feel like theater helped me make friends. Sorry, I have ADHD. It's like all the running around. Um, Theater for me was an escape from reality and a way to learn who I was, because I'm a big personality and I feel like I am the quintessential theater kid that people make jokes about on TikTok. I was like, oh yes. Just a lot more awkward and didn't have a car.
Yeah.
um so yeah, it's I very much I wanted to be the Rachel Berry, but then I found out Rachel Berry was a B word. And it was where like theater was where I got to figure out that I didn't have to pretend to be someone, because I kept putting on these characters for my life to try to fit in. And you can't do that in the theater. When you're on the stage, you are one person and they have an entire story. I think I answered like 5 questions in one.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say though, I absolutely love the Glee reference. Yeah.
My new favorite thing is when I'm catching up with a friend, I'm like, blah blah blah, this would happen. And that's what you missed on Glee. That's how I end every conversation when I'm catching them up. Like, congratulations, now you hear the ba da da
Yeah. It's a guilty pleasure. I've seen every episode, so
I, I have to.
yeah.
I remember buying them on iTunes the day after they came out, 99 cents or 5.99 for the full album.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now there's a I mean that's cool though. Like you like to pretty much be yourself, but you can be yourself in all these characters that you get to be, which is always a good thing, you know? And on this film, like you will have some freedom, liberties, just as long you get what I'm saying. But no, it's I'm never going to tell somebody not to be who they are. So whoever you are, you're good, you know?
I think theater, not sorry, theater and film, mostly film now, has helped me learn how to better emote, because I'm good at the happy emotions. I'm great with those. I can do them anytime. You get a sad emotion, I shut down. But like on film, I can't do that. Like it's almost like I am going through and watching the character that I play, their life story, and I'm playing it out. It's like, oh, that's what I feel. Oh, that's what that is.
Oh yeah. uh so speaking of, your reference to Glee and stuff like that, what is the soundtrack to your life? Like what plays on your Spotify on a daily basis?
Uh, you know how they have the day list now and it says like different headers? Mine usually almost always has dad rock in it. And ironically, I feel like that actually very much encapsulates my music style, because I tried to do the show tunes, I tried to do the pop, and then I was like, I'm angry. I want to just, and I heard Dragula for the first time, and I was like, oh my God. And I Spotify'd it, got the new radio for Dragula, have been listening to heavy metal music since.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's awesome though, because that's literally what makes up most of my Spotify. Other than when my wife gets it, then it's Disney. But whatever.
It's so good. Like, there's a metal version of the Pirates Don't Do Anything. Like,
uh, so I mean that's awesome. I really that is. But let's talk about some of your where do you draw your inspirations for your scenes? Like, because I know different movies, different sets, different shows, different shorts, they all every character is different. Where do you draw your inspiration for certain characters? Like for not there, you kind of mentioned CSI and stuff like that, but just some of the other characters you've played that you can talk about because I don't want you to get in trouble. What inspirations did you draw from?
I think so. I was in a play twice in my life, completely different places. Just so happened that my both schools put it on. Um, I was in the children's hour. In high school, I played one of the kids, and in college, I played one of the teachers. And I feel like very much I take a lot of the inspiration for some like the older, more serious characters from how I felt trying to learn how to not act like the kid that I did before because I had to pretty much unlearn and then relearn an entire new thing. And I think that really helped me because I was like, I had to fully analyze more than usual. Who is this person? How is she different than the character that I had 3 lines with as a kid that I wrote an entire backstory for? Um, and then I like to add people that I know into it. It's characters I've done in the past and people I know in real life. And recently, I've learned I'm taking classes with Brian Taylor. He teaches the Chubbuck technique, and it's you. Trying to figure out how to say this. He's probably going to message me that. He'd be like, Shannon, do you learn nothing? um, it's you play yourself, but you substitute out whoever your character is talking to. So it's like if I was talking to like if it's a heated scene and it's secretly about family, I would be in my head substituting, thinking of a specific thing, a time or thing I want to say to my parents or whoever my family it is. So it's like it adds the extra punch of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that because I learned so many different techniques, I feel like my inspiration is try to not is me because like it's I know that's a weird roundabout way because like it's the thing is I do the homework, I make my own character, but at the end of the day I could be completely different than what I wrote down just because of my scene partners.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, that's good because like when you're doing that, and like when I wrote some of these characters, I envisioned them so much to a T. You know what I'm saying? And then going through and getting it cast, I was like, okay, so we've changed some characters and some stuff like that. And I was like, okay, who do I envision doing this? And in my mind, a specific scene that no one's read, you know, well, you've all read it now, but you get what I'm saying. At that point, no one's read. I would play it out in my head like, okay, so Shannon's gonna be Silver. How's she gonna do it? And then in my head, I'm like, okay, I can see her doing that. And there's other characters that I did the same with, but then there's characters who I was like, I don't want to envision it the way I did for the simple fact because I want everyone to kind of bring their own into it. Does that make sense?
Oh, it absolutely does. It's the thing of I've done casting before for theater and I had an idea of what I wanted the character to be and then I fell in love like platonically with an actress. Oh my god, that's the opposite of what I was thinking, but it makes sense now because you don't know you write the character, you write the words, but the actor is the one who brings it to life and when like you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. And see, I want to believe we have a very eclectic cast for this film because it's like people from every walk of life,
Hmm.
you know. And well, first and foremost, the last time I've had people on from not there, we haven't said what it's about. It's a supernatural horror movie with some suspense and some other stuff. That's all I can give.
Has a has a really cool poster.
Yes. Actually, so we're up we're updating the poster pretty much every day. So
Amazing.
like today's poster will probably be tomorrow's poster, and tomorrow's poster will probably be the next day's poster. So, that just made no sense whatsoever. But whatever.
No, you know what? It's how I live life. I want to be the better poster tomorrow than I was today.
I like that. Yeah.
Motivational, like add an eagle in the middle and have the weird block text. Motivational poster did it.
Oh yeah. Uh so when you're on set, like I'm because I know that, when you're filming, everyone's gonna be locked on, they're gonna be serious, they're gonna do the best they can do. But when the camera is not rolling, what do you like to do to kind of just mingle with people and stuff like that?
So depends if it's after a really crazy scene or not. I'm very much the type of person that I have imposter syndrome, kind of, where it's like, oh my gosh, I did this, but did I do it well? It's the thing of poor Marley. Multiple times I've been like, Marley, did I do good? And she's like, yes, you're. I was like, very much the thing of I want to know I did good, but also I know I did good, but also what if I didn't? And then later I see it. It's like very much the little thing in my head. And then I usually sit down in a corner and drink my liquid IV and wait for people to come talk to me. Or I'll just usually, or if anything, I'll hang out with the crew and help set up scenes and things. I'm really bad at sitting still and having silences, if you couldn't tell.
You're okay. You're good. Yeah. So we will be filming potentially in November. Kind of gets cold here. Hardly ever snows in November. How long you been in Michigan?
I moved here in 2019, October 2019.
All right. So you could probably vouch for it that it hardly ever snows in November, and if it does, it's always like toward the end of November.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So we
Except
probably
for the first year that I came here, November 18th. I remember I was supposed to go to have my car checked, but I canceled because I was sick. And then I opened the window and it was just snow. And I was like, the one time.
oh yeah. Yeah, that is true. But with the potential film date in November, it's kind of like we're kind of hitting it kind of close, but kind of not close because you're just now getting out of the warm season, getting into more of the colder season, and then a lot of films that happen in the wintertime or something like that. People have these stories. They're like, "Oh, we fought the cold," and you know that's kind of what we're probably gonna have to do. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
I'm laughing because we had to do that at my wedding. Uh so I got married in 2024 in January, and it was nice every other like day, and then it so happened to be like 12 inches of snow. It was the crazy winter storm, and I had to take pictures outside in my wedding dress without like a jacket. My nice flowers were wilted. The joke with the wedding party is the flowers have gone to fjords. It's but it looks so good. You can be cold, it's fine. You can add more layers once things are done. But if it's too hot, that's when I can't do it. Cold, I'm fine. I'll just bitch. I'm sorry. I'll just complain.
The show's called NC-17. You can cuss.
The Build-A-Bear and me just came out. It's like, oh no.
It's all good. Trust me, I dropped worse words than that before. So but just go back and watch the episode with Shannon and Amanda, and yeah, I think we almost broke the record, but it's
I
all
gotta
good.
say, we need to have Shannon and Shannon. We need to have it a Shanpocalypse.
Oh, you just shipped yourself, and now you have no choice but to be that.
I'm like, finally, another Shannon. I have only been on a set once with another Shannon, and my constant joke would be like, are you Shannon or Shanoff? Because I can't live without making puns.
There's nothing wrong with that. My wife hates when I make my puns, but
I literally bought my dad a book of dad jokes because he didn't make enough for my liking. Multiple years in a row, Father's Day. Here, Dad. Here's a funny book of jokes.
That's funny. Uh, so with with you being in the entertainment world, has there been obstacles that you kind of didn't want to face that you had to? And was there like moments where you was like, maybe this is not for me?
Um, so I am not what people usually think of when it comes to Hollywood body standards. I have had a casting director before when I was younger tell me that I would never play a leading role unless I lost weight. Um, so I think for me that has very much been a hurdle until recently because the thankfully the scene is changing. It's more about like talent and just about character versus how you look. And so from it's I need to learn that when I get rejected, it's not because I'm bigger, it's because I didn't fit the character. It's not just because of body issues in the background.
All right. Well, I can guarantee you two things for this set. One, there will be nobody disrespecting anybody. The moment anyone disrespects someone, I don't play that 1, 2, 3, you're out. You're done. You know?
Right.
And then two, I'm not the type of person, and I try not to surround myself around those types of people to where we look at someone and we're like, no, you don't fit the bill. Anyone and everyone, I don't care who you are, what color, body size, whatever. At the end of the day, it's all about the talent.
Right.
And as long as you work with me, I can guarantee you that's what it's always going to be about.
I appreciate that. And it's I don't know if I've actually had that happen to me, but just the fact that an older male told me this when I was before I was in college, when I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm happy being the best friend." He's like, "No, no you're not. No you're not. You need to no one's happy playing the best friend. If you lose weight, you can be the lead." Um I also just finished last year being the lead in a feature film. So that was very fuck you to in my brain to the person be like
That's
but
right.
I think that's the biggest hurdle is the beauty standards and the fact that I know I have a banging body but also I have so many body issues and it's like the thing of people always say yeah the camera adds 10 pounds or whatever it's like I've learned to not make any comments about any scenes that I'm in because I am my worst critic. I notice everything that went wrong. And so I'm kind of just like, like I listen to people, even my husband, he's contractually obligated to tell me that he likes me. So but I getting getting feedback is very interesting for me because people usually you're so good and I'm like, but was I? Are you just saying that? It's the
Oh
thing
yeah.
of imposter syndrome. Like I'm like, I know I did great, but I could have done better. It's the thing that like that's something I'm learning how to be like, no, I yes, you could have done better, but also you could have done a whole lot worse. Like
Well, that's another thing about me and my wife and anyone else who's talked to me and who knows me. If I tell you, if you done bad, I tell you done bad. I mean, because sugarcoating something doesn't benefit anybody.
as again, I'm from the South, so I'm sorry. That's how I grew up. I grew up with sugar coated, sugar backhanded things like, oh, are you wearing that? Oh, you're wearing that to church? I didn't go to church, but oh, bless your heart.
Oh yeah, nah, that I'm all about respect. So trust me. And at the top of the list is always being honest, because that to me, once you lie to somebody,
You don't gain the trust back.
exactly. So you have my guarantee. I will be honest with you 100%, and I will also be respectful with you 100%. So
I appreciate that. I get told way too much by my therapists and people in general that I trust people way too easily. I'm very much the type of person like, why would I lie? You ask how my day is, I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna be like, oh, I shouldn't have asked that, but you asked. Congratulations, you get to now learn about my day in the past week and maybe like new diagnoses and things. Because why would you lie? Because if you know someone, then it, lying makes me angry.
yes, agreed. Yeah.
And it's very much the thing of people are always like, you're an actor, so you're really good at lying. And it's like, yeah, I am, but why would
It's very true.
I hate being asked that. So that, oh, so you're really good at lying. It's like, oh, if I
That
said yes or no, you wouldn't know if I was telling the truth or not.
that's true. Yeah. So, all right, what are you looking most forward without going into too much detail about not there?
I'm excited to have my Rizzoli and Isles moment. I'm excited. I finally get to be the person on the screen that I was looking up to as a kid. And being able to have it add my own story and have the chance to leave my mark on the town and the thing of just knowing that my character has a history. There's family before, there could be family after. Who knows? Because it's a movie and you don't know the ending yet. You
That's
don't
right.
know.
That's right.
It could be Pretty Little Liars, where there's like, somehow multiple twins. Um, I I'm excited to play a serious character that isn't trying to that isn't trying to fall into a horror movie trope.
That's very true. And you're breaking ground because outside of like, I don't know how many shows or movies, but I've not seen a lot of female coroners.
Mm-mm. I feel like Rizzoli and Isles was one of the few that did it.
That and I think Bones. Only two things.
Yes. Fantastic shows.
Yeah.
Fair.
Now the good thing is now your name is going to be synonymous with that kind of a role. That's pretty cool.
I have been asked multiple times, been like, how does it feel to have your name be synonymous with dead bodies? And I was like, you know what? I'm here for it.
Oh yeah.
That was a bad way. Let me clarify to any audience. I like horror movies. I don't like real dead bodies. Please don't have my name attached to any.
Speaking of horror movies, what are some of your favorite horror movies?
Oh my god. Okay, so Psycho is my all-time favorite movie. I love that it was the genre definer. And then my second favorite is Scream, which is also a genre definer because before you didn't have there was no horror movies in horror movies before Scream,
Mhm.
or like if there was, it wasn't talked about. It's the meta-ness of like for me, I love the movies that change a genre that other movies then try to piggyback off of. Like Knives Out was what was a genre defining movie. And I feel like
Mhm.
there's a lot more whodunits that are uh better than like, the Scooby Doo effect, but better where you actually have clues that you can watch later and go back to and see it. I really like movies that make my brain think and make my brain not think.
uh, okay, so out of the entire Scream franchise, what was your favorite kill?
um my brain the, Drew Barrymore is like the first one is it's iconic.
Oh
It's
yeah,
also the equivalent of Psycho, where Marion Crane, Drew Barrymore, they were both prominently shown on the posters, and they're spoilers. I'm sorry, dead. Before the end, they're not the final girl, but
yeah.
it's making the audience think one thing, and then just completely just be like, haha, you were kidding. You don't know what's happening.
Oh yeah. Uh, my favorite was part two. Well, my favorite kill scene was in part two, but it also was like immediately it followed my favorite line in the entire franchise. When Randy said his favorite horror movie was Showgirls,
Yes.
and then he got killed, I was like, damn. That,
You know
okay, I
what?
saw it coming.
Yeah, true. So, what is your thoughts before the new Scream announcement happened? Were you a Stu Mocker is alive truther or not?
I thought two reasons why I thought he was alive. One, you can drop a TV on anyone's head unless that flat point is
No
hitting.
body, no death.
Exactly. You know. Now, also another thing is not a lot of people know this.
The
Well,
Scream 3 was supposed to be he was supposed to be in it. Then
yeah.
the I'm sorry, I have hyper focuses and I'm great at trivia because I know a lot of I know a lot of trivia. But please continue, tell everyone else.
But there was also a ghost script for part one that had a completely different ending that they never even filmed.
Wait, I know about Scream 3. What is this one?
So they wrote two different versions of Scream, the original, and they had two different endings. But they only filmed what we saw.
Interesting.
Yeah. They did the same thing for Return of the Living Dead. Like there was a word print that they wrote, but they never filmed. Instead, we got what we got for Return of the Dead.
That's fascinating. Like for me, I love movies. Like I think recently people were freaking out about a Black Mirror episode because depending where you were, you saw a different episode that had different things in it. And they did that purposefully to make people confused. It's like, one, hate that. Don't do that to me, but also please do. And it's the thing of I love video games that where you get to decide the ending. There's
Oh yeah.
not one ending. And the fact that if there is two endings that we know about, there is a chance that there is another world that they could bring that back in. Because if it's written out, it's like chalk zone. If you erase it, it's somewhere there. It's still alive.
Oh yeah.
Chalk that ages. Um
So you probably like the games like Until Dawn and
yes I do.
have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't yet.
Movie was good. I like the movie, but I like the video game too. So yeah, that and the Dark Pictures anthology.
I love the Dark Pictures anthology. I think they're coming out with a new season.
Yep. So season they're going all the way up to four seasons.
Wow.
Season Yep. Season two is going to have 7 episodes. Season three is going to have 9, and then season four is going to have 10.
I find it interesting that it's kind of going off of Telltale's but coattails, but
Yeah.
not the same way. It's their episodes, but unlike Telltale, they are full games.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For every one of those games, I've actually played through the entire scenario and got every single ending, including all of the endings for Until Dawn.
Oh,
Yeah. My wife hates me because I locked so many hours on video games. She's like, "Want to watch a movie? No, I'm playing Until Dawn."
sorry, do you not know the cinematic masterpiece that is the video game Until Dawn that is literally made to be like a cinematic experience? Sit
Oh
down
yeah.
and watch me play. Congratulations. You get to help me figure out what to do.
Actually, she started playing.
Ah, does
Yeah.
she have a favorite character?
She loves Hayden Panettiere's character. You know,
I
so
love
when we were playing, I was like, just whatever you do, don't listen to anything I'm gonna tell you because you're gonna die. She's like, what? I was like, hey, just learn it yourself. So I was like, don't go right. She went right. She died.
I think Until Dawn was really what the game that taught me what plot armor is.
Yeah.
Because like I grew up with Scream, as I said. It's like, yeah, they could die, but also like what would happen to the story if they did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Well, I can tell you what. All right. So, how many times have you played Until Dawn?
so um this is about to be like I'm a fake gamer, but I have really bad hand-eye coordination and I get really jumpy when I get really freaked out because I have a heart condition where my heart rate is super high all the time. So I watch my friends play it and I tell them what to do. I've just done
No,
it 3 times.
oh yeah, nothing wrong with that. Uh, my favorite ending is where they all die.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you were there any new deaths that were added to the remaster? I cannot
Uh,
remember.
there were new things that can happen. I haven't really played it on the PS5, the remaster, just yet. Too much. I played it, but not all the way through yet.
Hmm.
But there are things that are different because my one friend who played it got mad and threw his away. I was like, bro,
I'm
it's a
like,
video
dude,
game. It's okay though. It's okay. Yeah. But
I mean, I feel like that was the first game that I ever saw that was mocap,
oh
or
yeah.
like what I remember specifically that had an impact on me because I was in college when it came out and I was watching Markiplier play it and I was on Tumblr and I was just seeing all these things like realizing how good and bad graphics can be. It and then I found out about like Detroit Become Human and all these other things and like it's now something I aspire to do like to one day know that I could maybe have my likeness in a video game.
Hey, who knows? Maybe if not there becomes popular enough, they'll make a video game out of it.
Please can I be can so long as I have Lara Croft triangle boobs I'll be happy. That's
Yeah.
such a lie. I would
I don't think that's ever been said on this show.
to be fair, it is one of the easiest cosplays to do. You get tissue boxes and you put them there. You put on a shirt. Congratulations, you have Lara Croft boobs.
True. Uh, crazy. Uh, so where do you see yourself? I'm all over the place, by the way. So, we'll be having fun. And then Sarah's
You learned
question.
20 questions in a single answer, and then like, wait, what was the question?
Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Acting still. Um, it's very strange now that I'm married. It's the thing of my husband is very, very supportive of me, and that's the crazy thing. I'm like, wait, you're okay with me doing this? Like, what? Because
Uh,
I always hear stories about people being like about partners not liking how long people are away, but Jonathan is fantastic. And I see him. And it's the thing of now knowing that I have another person with me in my life means that I might actually not live in a like not be solely in an apartment in 10 years trying to be a good actress, trying to get roles and things. And just realizing that I am a person outside of the characters. I have my own life. And in 10 years, I can see myself with a family, maybe doing acting still, always doing acting still. But I have a lot more hope for my future now. Like, because it, that sounds really strange. In 10 years I see myself acting. It's the thing of me being as a kid being like, yeah, I'll do it on TV, I'll do it on these things. I want to be have food and act still. That's all I would like. Other than that, no matter, I don't know where it is, where I am, so long as I'm safe, my family is safe, and I get to do what I love still, I'll be happy.
Yeah. That's a good, honest answer. You know, everyone's like, I don't know, you just straight out acting. I was like, that is essentially what people always want. It's just if you have a passion and you have a love, that's what you want to do. That's what you should be doing. That's what you should see yourself always doing. And the fact that you said just flat out acting, that's mad respect for you. So,
Thank you. It's there. I get so dramatic. I'm shocked that Jonathan still loves me. There, I just feel like something happens. I'm like, oh my god, I can't act again. Oh my god, he's just like, Shannon, Shannon, this is literally what you want to do with your life. And I'm like, you're right. You're so right. Of trying to be dramatic, but knowing at the end of the day, I spent a lot of money to get a really expensive piece of paper to have an acting thing. Like, I have known since I was a kid that I want to do this. I want to be in the next Princess Bride. I want to like have my likeness somehow immortalized and maybe like help change people's lives and like help have them relate to me as a character on the screen. Like that's the most exciting thing and idea that I could ever think of. Because like when the future, when I'm dead and gone and media still exists, I will be forever immortalized as that character.
very true.
That's chills to think about.
Oh yeah. Uh, so we're kind of coming to the end of the show, but I have two more questions, and
Yes.
then I'll let you play your socials and stuff. First question would be, what advice would you give to anyone trying to get into the industry?
Ooh. Don't be discouraged by rejections. I know it's easier said than done, but also get out there and meet people. Don't see other actors as competition. Just go out there, uh, volunteer for things. Don't just look for things that are paid. As someone who has not gotten paid for an acting role in on film yet, it's gonna happen. But the thing is, if you want to do this, you will find a way to do it. Also, don't have an ego. Don't be a dick, and have humility and look up on Facebook or other things because I didn't when I was in college. I didn't do a lot of film acting, and I was like, how am I going to get into it? It is very much you need to know people. But you can meet people just out of the blue, and like, hey, like I met Marley on a set, and now I'm constantly recommending her for jobs. It is very much a who you know, and I'm a very open person, as you can tell. I'm always like, hello, new person. You are now in my roster. Hello. Also it's just be yourself. I am unabashedly myself, and I have seen other actors who are very much treat it like the only time that they can project and do it is on the stage. And it's the thing of just be you. Don't try to be a specific celebrity because that might be you in the future. Give yourself advice. Me gives 25 things and like without really giving any advice.
Uh, well, that actually leads me into my next question. What advice would you give yourself at 10 years old that you did not know then that you know now?
Um shit. Um I would tell 10-year-old Shannon that um that don't give up. Just put yourself out there. Don't be afraid of people telling you that you're too much, that you're a lot to handle, and know that you will find people who will love you for you, and you won't have to change that. And you will not give up on your dream no matter what. You find a way to do it. And I'm very proud of myself.
That's good. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. You should always be proud of yourself and be proud of what you've done.
it's it's so surreal. I just got done playing a doctor. One of the things that I said that I would be in the future on screen, and the thing of me being a lead actor in something else, it's like I am doing what I wanted to do. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't want to be famous. I just wanted to act, and I'm
Yeah.
actually doing it. And that's
That's good.
wild.
Oh yeah. That's called goal success. There's a lot of people out there who say they want to do something. They never do it. You know, the fact that even as a little girl you were like, this is what I'm going to do. Here you are today doing what you want to do. No one got you here but you. No one told you what to do, how to traverse this path. You've done it yourself. You have been a trailblazer to yourself, and you have succeeded in every aspect of what you want to do because you're doing what you love.
Right.
So,
And I've never tried to play anyone else. I've gotten roles because I was me, and I didn't try to emulate a character that I saw on TV. It's strange, very much being like the, oh yeah, be yourself. Like legitimately, it's the easiest thing to do and the hardest thing to do.
oh yeah. Uh, I can tell you that from your audition all the way to now, and for everybody out there, this is our first time talking. So,
It's true.
yeah, the thing is it may not mean nothing, but I know for a fact you got quite a few people that are on this cast that are part of this crew. We have 100% faith in you. So
Thank you.
you're
I,
welcome.
I be like, I have faith in me too, but like I knowing that I have faith in a production and that I put my all into it, even if I'm like, oh, what did I do? It's like, no, I put everything into it. When I sign up for a production, I go through with it because that my name is on that, but my legacy is that. And I am so excited to be part of Not There and to see where the future takes me, and even if I get my own spin-off of Brazilian Isles and Silver, you know,
uh, we'll see what
I
the future holds. We're
it's
gonna
the
end.
thing, it's the thing of me being like, ah, yes, I need to. It's I grew up on the Quirky Girl 2015 Tumblr uwu things, the RAR XD, and I never grew out of that.
Nothing wrong with that.
I know it's the thing of now just realizing that I don't need to be embarrassed when I'm myself, and that's the hardest part for me because I'm bad at remembering words. I get excited, I forget, and I it's like right now I'll just try to explain. Like I did smiley face instead of another word. Like it's okay to not know what you're doing, and it's okay to be excited and to act like this because people like before people would think that I'm putting on a character or trying to be like those girls, the Tumblr ooh girls. It's like no, this is it. I am zany. I am a lot, and I'm a lot to handle, but I think that I am delightful to be around. And for me, it's the hardest thing of realizing that I talk a lot. I don't remember what I say, but I mean everything that I say usually. And it's if you talk to me, no, I'm not putting on a character. If I'm quiet, then I might be putting on a character.
All right. All right. I want to thank you, Shannon, for coming on. You've been a blast, a rock star, a true rock star in every sense of the word, because we've had fun. Actually, we've had a lot of fun. We've talked movies. We got to know you. That's ultimately what this series is about, to get to know the cast.
I'm also just worrying, being like, what did I say? Did I say? It's like I will say some profound shit and be like, wow, that was so like you must have thought of it for ages. Like, no, I just said it and then I forgot it. And I'm just like, oh God, hopefully I didn't say anything. Be like my parents, you'd be like, Shannon or John, it's uh
Well, the
I get
good
in
thing,
trouble. I get in trouble because I talk a lot.
well, the good thing is you'll be able to tell in 20 minutes because it'll be on YouTube. uh, I normally end the show with saying everyone stay in NC-17, but since you mentioned it earlier, you have to stay. You have to say what you say every time you end a conversation because I am a true Gleek. I love Glee.
That's what you missed last time on Glee.
Everybody, until next time, stay in C17. Stick around though. I want to talk to you afterwards. So.